Hi class, this is Professor Dev. We have a special event today. We have started the in-person class in the last October month. The 2nd of October we started the in-person class and we closed the online classes. And today special event is for the SHSAT examinees. We have an SHSAT exam in the next month, you know that, and you are preparing, I know, for the SHSAT exam. And in this event, we actually try to focus on how to answer wisely in the SHSAT exam. SHSAT stands for, Specialized High School Admission Test. So let me introduce you my speaker, Nawar Ahmed. You stand up and say hi.
Hello.
She will give you a brief explanation on how to answer wisely in the practical examination hall, on the ELA section as well as on math section. And I just introduced her, and she is going to Forest Hill High School. And this branch we have opened last month, the Brooklyn branch. This is in 188 Dahil Road, and we have other two branches, one in Jamaica. The main branch is in Jamaica, and the second branch we have started in last August, maybe in Jackson Heights. And this is the third one. This is the third campus of Sunshine Tutoring. So I'll now introduce her and let her speak on the session. Okay? Welcome.
So as we all know that this test is for our specialized high school exam, and I believe that all of you are going to take it. So it has 114 questions, and you will have to answer all those questions in 3 hours. I know that 3 hours may seem like it's a lot of time, but trust me, it really isn't. Once you start doing it, you will see how much more time you would want from the test. So there's two parts. One is ELA, one is math, and each part has 57 questions. So I'll start with the ELA first. First you would have revising and everything. For example, it will have punctuation, grammar. So you all need to know that, and we all know that to improve on our punctuation, grammar, vocabulary, and etc. You guys need to read books, because that will enhance your vocabularies and everything. So for example, there's some questions that I have from the SHSAT books, which is like this one. You guys could buy it. It's really good to study from. I'll give one of the questions from this. Can I write them?
Yeah.
So for example, one of the questions that's there is, I hope you can see it. So it says, so the manager gave So it says the manager gave the punctual and high performing employee her bonus. So do you guys see anything wrong with this sentence? Something that should be changed? Yeah?
It says her bonus to be a bonus.
Yeah. You got it right?
Can you stand? Can you stand?
What?
Say again.
The problem with the sentence is that it says the manager gave the punctual and high-performing employee her bonus, it should be a bonus instead of her.
Why do you think it should be A instead of her?
It just doesn't make sense to say her because we haven't gotten introduced to her.
Yeah, that's really good job because we use the word her. We don't know if her is her is for the employee or the manager, manager itself, you know? So we don't know who her really is. So A would be best suited for this sentence. So you got it. So your first 10 questions would be like these. Then we will move on to paragraphs. So they'll give you big paragraphs and you have to read it. Sometimes what I would say from my own experience is that to read the questions first, because sometimes what they will do, just to waste your time, is they'll give you a whole big story to read, and then they'll ask you a question like this, which you already know the answer of without reading the story. So to save your time, because there's limited time, you need to, I would say to read the questions first for your own better, and then answer the questions. But there's one more thing too. They would have a bunch of stories, and they might be really long. They would also have at least 1 to 2 poems that you guys have to read. So sometimes it's really hard to understand them because it'll have stories from everything. For example, they'll have tales, they'll have scientific stories. So it's like you need to know about them in order to answer the questions. So what I did was that when I was reading the stories, I annotated next to the margin. I wrote down little summaries, 1 to 2 sentences, so to better sum up the paragraph. So when I did that, it really helped me out because when I was answering the questions, I didn't have to go back and reread the whole thing again. I already knew what was going on in the story. Does that make sense? So this is one of the examples. If you look in this book, there should be more. I'll give you one more. What is wrong with the sentence, or what can be fixed to make the sentence more better? So I'll give you guys some options. A, delete more. B, delete it has been shown that. C, change improve to enhance. D, move quickly after vocabulary.
Can I just write? Though it is.
What do you guys think could be changed in this sentence to make it more better?
I think it's the last one.
The last one? Why do you think that?
Because when it says reading more quickly improves one's vocabulary. One's vocabulary doesn't make sense. So I think it's more quickly after vocabulary.
Yeah, good job. So you guys are already doing it. You guys didn't even have to read the whole story. So it's better to read the questions first, so they don't waste your time for no reason, and then answer the questions. So that is basically all about it with the ELA part. It's just that you have to understand, and there will be a lot of vocabularies. I'll tell you that, a lot of vocabularies. What they try to do is they try to trick you into giving you things that you would have no idea about, which is not even in your grade level. But don't worry about it, because there's always context clues next to the sentence or anything. For example, you didn't know what improve means, you could just look next to in that sentence or in the next sentence to figure out that word. So there's no need to worry about that. But I would suggest that read more books, and when you read books, look for the vocabulary, so it's better for you guys. And I think we'll talk about the math section.
You can continue.
With the math?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, I really love math. It's like one of my favorite subjects. And I will tell you guys a story of what I did when I was taking the test. I flipped to the math side and I started doing the math, because I know that I'm good at it. So I just quickly did it, and I finished with the math part because it was more easy for me. So if you guys think that the ELA part's more easy for you, do that first. If you think you're better at math and you finish that first, then do that. But never leave one side incomplete. Try to finish both of the sides, because if you want to go to the specialized high schools, you need to get it above 500 or above points. Anything below that, you can go to a specialized high school. So you need to finish all of your questions. And as he said, there was something that he said that I really liked, was answering your questions wisely. Because if you do it really quickly, you would 90% get it wrong, because you would not understand the questions because you're stressed about the time, the test, and everything. So try answering them really wisely. For math, there's a lot of things that you need to remember, the rules and everything, and they'll give it to you in the first page, I believe, before starting the math testing or whatever. And there's some of the stuff that you need to remember, like basic stuff, like for example, how to find area, how to find perimeter. So, I hope you guys do good on that. But other than that, this coaching center, I would say, would really help you guys out, because he starts from bottom to all the way high level, what you guys would need. And one thing I would suggest you, that try taking a Regent exam or like an SHSAT exam before even learning anything, to see what you guys are weak on. And then when you find that out, you can tell him that, inform him, and he'll provide you with the best questions and strategies that you could follow.
Okay. Okay. So you got the brief idea on ELA and little on math section, but I suggest you that don't do math in your head, okay? Students, often they do math in head. Don't try for that in the exam hall, okay? Because you have to do that in paper, okay? So if you spend your time, more with pen and paper, then you will do correct answer, and that would be the best for you. And if you do mental math and you take little less time, but if you do that incorrect, what will be the benefit? No benefit, right? Right? So let me give you one example of a shortcut technique. I'll give you a shortcut technique to simplify the fractions. Fraction? You have idea on fraction simplification, but you see, the students, they often do fraction simplification by multiplying the numerators and multiplying the denominators, right? What you will do? If I call you, what you will do? Let me call you some for some examples, right? 5 over 15 and times 26 over 30. So you have to simplify this fraction. Anybody can come here and do this? You want to come? Simplify this. What's your name? Italian name?
Shadat.
Huh?
Shadat.
Shadat. Okay. Do this. What's that?
Simplified.
Simplified, but you have to multiply here, right? So what's the result? Oh, that's not the result. You see, why you do like this? You did in a right way, but you didn't write the answer actually. This you see, we can simplify here within this portion, because if we divide by the common factor 5, so you get what? You get 1 over 3, right? Times, if you divide by common factor like 13, you get 2 over 1, right? So what do you get now? 2 over 3. That's it, right? So the answer is 2 over 3. But what I wanted to tell you is that most of the students, they do like this: 15 over 5 over 15 times 26 over 13. They try to, multiply the numerators, okay? 5 times 26, then that is a big number here. And again 15 times 13, there is a big number here. Then again they divide, and then they got the answer. But you can get this answer by simplifying each term of the fractions, both the fractions, right? So that's the easiest way. So this is a shortcut method, shortcut technique to give your answer, wisely. We say it wisely, not quickly. Okay? So whenever you answer the questions, you try to answer wisely, not quickly. Anyway, so you can go. So there will be again, as Nawar Ahmed told you, that there will be 114 questions, and that will take 3 hours to answer. That is 3 hours. The time limit is 3 hours. But what is most challenging in SHSAT exam is the time. Why time is challenging? Because for each question, you are getting only around 80-90 seconds, so maybe 95 seconds, right? Maybe 95 seconds. Okay. So if you can use this shortcut technique for math section, and your thinking abilities and your grammatical knowledge on the ELS section, then you can minimize your time. So if you can minimize your time, you can review the whole answer sheet. You can review the whole answer sheet, you can revise, so that your answer will be perfect in the examination. Okay? And the most interesting is that, you see, there is no specific time limit for doing each of the section. I mean, the math section or English section, there is no time limit. You don't think that you have 1.5 hours for math and 1.5 hours for ELA, the English section, okay? So you can do math, you can do English part either way. But the limit is 3 hours, okay? So in the math section, there are the key topics are, the number and operators and algebra. There are algebraic expressions, you can simplify, you can have the evaluation problem for the variables. Okay, one variable equation. You can have the questions on probability and statistics. You can have the questions on geometric shapes, the geometry and measurement. So we have to prepare all this, before going to sit for the examination. So I hope you all best in the exam, and that's all. So we will continue this session. Today is the first session. We will continue couple of sessions in the next few weeks, and then we think you will be ready for the examination. And by this time, you keep on studying with the class notes and the exam sheets, the previous exam sheets, whichever we gave from our tutoring. So we wish you all the best. Thank you very much.